Happy Sunday, everyone. I have been neglecting my YouTube channel for a while now, and I've decided it is time to stop neglecting my YouTube channel. So, we are going to spend a little bit of time together this morning, and we are going to make some keto eggnog. Yes, you heard me say it right. Keto eggnog. Now, when you buy eggnog in the store, you'll find carrageenan gum and cornstarch and sugar, and you'll find all kinds of things that absolutely are not real food. They're not keto, and we're not going to use them today. So, what we are going to use are 6 whole eggs. So I know that typically eggnog is made with egg yolks, but this time we're going to use whole eggs. Now the important part about this, oops. The important part about this, here to put my eggshells in, is that everything gets mixed well, and we don't cook our eggs. We don't want scrambled eggs in our eggnog. We want it to be nice and creamy and smooth and wonderful and delicious. And we want it to have 6 whole eggs in it. And this is really easy to do, and you probably have the stuff in your pantry if you're doing keto. To do this, if you don't, it's very easy to find. Now, one of the things that I'm going to use this afternoon, it's actually afternoon now. Okay. So one of the things that I'm going to use this afternoon is coconut milk. So we're going to put our 6 eggs in our pot. Now, I like to use the whole egg, and I use the whole egg because, just keep that here. I use the whole egg because it's a perfect package. So an egg is designed to create healthy life. Little chicks are born from it. So I'm going to just stick this in here. I figure whole egg eggnog is a better way to do things. Now we're going to whip these eggs up. I want them to be really thoroughly whipped so they incorporate into the milk. Now you can heat the milk, or the milk. We're using coconut milk and we're using whipping cream. And you can heat that up prior and then temper it into the eggs. And we're not going to do that today. I'm going to cheat a little bit. So I'm adding 2 cups or 500 milliliters of coconut milk. Right-handed, so I'll get this so I can actually do it. And if you don't want to use coconut milk for whatever reason, you can definitely use nut milk, almond milk, not cashew milk. And I've seen that in stores. I didn't see it for a long time. You started seeing soy milk and stuff like that. Soy in any form is not good for you. Please don't eat it. It is not keto. And the reason that it's not keto is because it's very inflammatory. So that's something you definitely want to stay away from. Almond milk is wonderful. Hazelnut milk, if you can find it. Make sure when you buy it that you check the ingredients, because something that says all natural and organic, you may still find on the back of it that it has organic cane sugar in it, or it has all natural agave nectar or whatever it is. Now, I don't know, you can see the splotches in my cream. I put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and it is pure vanilla extract. It is not artificial vanilla extract, chemically kind of whatever it is. So, okay. There's our whipping cream and our vanilla in there. Now the other thing that we're going to need is about half a cup of um, sweetener, whichever sweetener you prefer. There's no hard and fast rule. So I am using erythritol this morning. Now I still, after over 2 years of keto, I have a sugar bowl on my counter, and this is exactly why I do love to cook. And so we're just going to put half a cup-ish, a little better than half a cup. There we go. Have to fill the sugar bowl a little bit later. Okay, so we're going to get this in here. Now, one thing about granular erythritol is it doesn't clump so much when you're putting it in something liquid like this, but it does take a lot longer to dissolve. And when you chill it, just put these over here so they can go in the compost later. Okay, when you chill it, very often you'll have these wonderful little crystally bits of yumminess show up in whatever it is that you've been creating. Okay, now the next thing we want is about a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. And you know, I've recently started selling my own line of organic spices. And I'll tell you, if there's one thing that I've learned over the years cooking for others and cooking for myself too, I suppose, it is that you want to make sure that you are using quality ingredients if you want that amazing taste that you tasted somewhere else. Okay, now one of the things that makes that taste amazing, in my opinion, is using fresh spices. And this is a whole nutmeg. And again, in my opinion, any good eggnog has nutmeg in it. So we're just going to grate some nutmeg in there. Now, nutmeg is a pretty powerful thing, so you don't need lots and lots of it, but you definitely do want some when you're doing nutmeg. It's a must. Okay, so now we have everything in here that we need to make a delicious keto eggnog. Now, the only thing that really has any carbs in it, okay, we're going to get this on the burner. The only thing that really has any carbs in it is the coconut milk, and there's only 1 carb per cup. So this is very, very low carb. This is beautiful for keto. It's wonderful for Christmas. You're going to love it. Now, the big thing is we have to heat this slowly, and it's like an ice cream base. Because we're using whole eggs in here, if we let this get too hot too fast, it is going to curdle on us, and you don't want scrambled eggs in your eggnog. So we're just going to make sure that we are stirring this and getting right into the corners. And while we're doing this, I am just going to make sure that I can see if anyone is asking any questions. Okay, so if you have any questions about what I'm doing, whether we're live or whether we're not live, you can definitely ask me in the chat, and I will try and keep an eye on it and answer the questions that I can answer. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sharon McPherson. I am a wife of 24 years almost. We've been together for 29, but We've been married for 24. We have 6 beautiful children that are all grown now, and we have 13 lovely grandchildren. And this year, we are going to be celebrating Christmas probably without very much of our family around, just because of restrictions in the area that we live in. But whether you're spending Christmas with a huge big group, or you're spending it alone, or spending it with 1 or 2 other people, this is something that you can make. You can keep it in the fridge. It tastes like Christmas. It feels like Christmas, and it makes me happy. So I hope that it brings some happiness into your house as well. And we're just going to let this keep heating. But you know, this is just so easy to make. And that's one of the big things with keto, is that it is not complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. And could I be doing a bunch of baking with you today? I could, but should we really be eating that on keto? If you have any weight to lose, no, you really shouldn't be eating that on keto. So that's important for you to remember, that you want to be eating good, whole, healthy foods. And having said that, this is a good food made with whole foods, but it isn't something that I would want to see you drinking all day, every day, because for the most part, especially if you're trying to lose some weight, you don't want to be drinking your nutrition. It is way too easy to get more than you need. And more, if the fat or the protein or the carbs had been in a meal, you would have been full far faster than you will when you're drinking it. So yeah, avoid drinking your calories. And I hate to use the word calories, but anyway, so I am a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I'm also amateur chef, and I have been doing keto for 2 years. And I'm going to share with you, just let me look away from my camera for a minute. I'm going to share with you my latest picture. What I do is every 2 months, I do a new before and after picture so that I can show myself how far I've come. That's important to me. Now, let me share this with you. I should have had this ready to go before, but I didn't. So here we go. So this was done on December 15th. And so you can see, looking at that I have come a long way, and I'm very proud of myself. And in that journey, I have lost 160 pounds, but I've also learned a tremendous amount by studying keto, by studying papers written about keto, by listening to experts on keto, by making sure, let me stir our eggnog here, make sure it doesn't scorch on the bottom. That would be sad. Okay, I'm going to turn this down now, because we don't want to take any chances on it scorching, and we don't want it to cook too quickly either. So I have done personally over 2,000 hours research. I have taken 2 courses through the Nutrition Network out of South Africa that is run by one of the world's leaders in the ketogenic lifestyle, Dr. Tim Noakes. So very honored to be a part of that. And oh, this is coming along very nicely, and it's heating up well now. So that's who I am, and that's what I do. Now I teach other people how to do it. Now I want to show you something. Now this is something that we see quite often in the marketplace, and I'm going to stop sharing this. Okay, so this is, we're not going to worry about a brand name because it really doesn't matter. Now this is a packet of exogenous ketones, and there are several different brands out there. Now I am not even remotely saying that there's no place for exogenous ketones. There are definitely um, times when they can be beneficial. But the way they're marketed is that in order for you to do the ketogenic diet, in order for you to be successful doing the ketogenic diet, you have to use this product or that product. And they're very expensive and they are very unnecessary. So this particular company tells you about how much energy you're going to have. Well, let me tell you about the energy that you're going to get from this. As far as BHB, it says it has 12.6 grams. I would imagine that is likely true. But the thing that's really mind-boggling to me, vitamin B6 as pyridoxine, it has 941% of the daily recommended dosage, and vitamin B12 as cyanocobalamin, 100 micrograms, that's 4,167% of your daily recommended allowance. Now, that being said, this company wants you to use 2 of these packets a day. And in order for you to do that, just with that one product, and there are several that they recommend that you have, and just that one product is going to cost you well over $500 a month. So I don't spend $500 a month on groceries for both my husband and myself. So I'm certainly not going to spend it on one thing that would just be a small portion of our groceries. And this is heating up beautifully and it smells amazing. I wish there was some way I could let you guys smell this because it smells so good. Okay, so let me, there we go. Now this is going to be available if you're not here while I'm doing this. This will be available on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out there. I am going to make every effort to be here at noon on Sundays, and we will cook something different every week. And we will have a chat about keto. And if there is one thing that I can teach you about keto, if there's one thing that I can change your mind about, it is going to be about what foods are actually real healthy whole foods and which ones are not. The whole 6 to 11 servings of healthy whole grains every day, yeah, that's a load of malarkey. Not something that you want in your world, because those whole grains that the food guide recommends that we eat, those are absolutely nothing but straight sugar. They're carbohydrates and they are very inflammatory carbohydrates. So for people who are struggling with back pain, struggling with neck pain, struggling with arthritis, struggling with type 2 diabetes or inflammatory bowel syndrome or Crohn's disease, high blood pressure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes. Did I say that already? Keto is absolutely the way you want to be nourishing your body, the way the human body was meant to be nourished. That is just a fact. Okay, I think I'm gonna get Alexa, coffee off. I really enjoy having her here to do that for me, so I don't have to leave you to go and do it. But I noticed that I poured myself coffee and I didn't turn the coffee pot on. So, okay, so we are coming really close to being done. Let me grab a spoon. Oops, just one I think is going to be good. And we'll see. Oh my goodness. That is really very good. Now, you put that in a glass or in a cup of coffee, wherever you want to put it. Add some rum or some bourbon to it, whichever is your preference. Now, if you're wanting to do this for the family and you don't want to be giving them rum or bourbon if they're under 18 or under 21, depending on where you live, Da Vinci sugar-free syrup, sugar-free. Now, this is how I satisfy my sweet tooth. And in this eggnog, This is absolutely beautiful. You can add some if you want it a little bit sweeter, or you can use it instead of erythritol and just do it to taste. Add a little bit at a time, and or you can do it half and half, partly erythritol or um, allulose or whatever artificial sweetener you're using, and then oh, this is beautiful. Okay, I would love to know if you're watching this. Tell me where you're from, and tell me what your favorite holiday dish is, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is. Let me know what your favorite dish is. And let me know if you are doing keto right now or getting ready to do keto or just doing some research. I love hearing where people are in their journey. Okay, so this is pretty close to being done. Now, it is so important that you heat it up enough that the eggs are going to be safe to use in this eggnog, because we don't want to take any chances with foodborne illnesses, right? Okay, so it has to be heated up well, but not boiled. Just don't let it boil. It will turn into almost an oatmeal consistency. And that is the voice of experience talking, folks. So trust me when I tell you that is definitely what happens. Now, I am just going to do one more taste test. Grab another spoon, and we'll see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. And I know somebody who absolutely needs some Christmas cheer in her coffee. So we'll okay, make sure that happens. I always keep jars that I've emptied. Now this one had passat in it, which is a wonderful bunch of ground tomatoes. That it's just tomatoes. There's no a little bit of salt, but there's no chemicals in it, no other preservatives. At any rate, this is a lovely bottle to be putting something like this in. And I'm not canning it. This bottle has been thoroughly washed, and but I'm not canning it. So for that reason, you don't see the bottle in boiling water. This eggnog, I'm quite sure, is not going to be around enough for it to make a difference. So we are just going to let this sit here and keep cooking for a little bit longer. And because I poured my coffee earlier, I'm going to put let's see how this goes. Oh, almost filled that cup too full. Okay. You just don't want to waste a drop because this really has turned out nice. Okay, give this a bit of a stir. And let's see what this tastes like. Yep, we have a winner. You know, this has only taken us a few minutes, guys, and you can do this at home. It is so simple. Do it on a low heat. If you're at all concerned about it scorching, do it in a double boiler. It works really well, and you don't need to put any thickener in it. The eggs that we've got in here are going to do the work for us. And whether you make this for yourself, make it for a group, or make it for someone as a gift, whoever it is that is drinking this is going to be very appreciative. I hope all of you have a wonderful Christmas 2020. This year has not been what any of us expected. Wherever you are in the globe, I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. Stay safe, stay healthy, take your vitamin D3. That's what's going to help keep you safe and healthy. And I will see you next Sunday at noon live on YouTube. We'll see you then. Bye bye.